Hey, phew. Hi. We have had some glitches today, but we are going on with the show now. So welcome to Creative Vitality Jam Sessions. Here we have intimate conversations about reimagining creativity and supporting and building community. Now is the time for action. Now is the time to walk the walk. Equality, justice, and respect for all. That is what must happen. So, I'm Helen Pickett, and today's guest is Sarah Hillmer. Sarah and I have worked together for over 10 years. She is the managing director of staibdance. Hey, Sarah, thank you for waiting.
Technology is what it is.
Thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to see you. I miss working with you in the studio. Big love for you. So all I got to was that you were the managing director, that is, of staibdance. So as soon as I find out where you are in the world, you're going to continue to tell us a bit more about yourself.
Okay, well, hello, Helen. Hello, community. Thanks for having me on, Helen. I miss you dearly too. Creating and moving with you it's something that has become our lifeblood. So I look forward to when that can continue. I'm in Decatur, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. So in the South, yeah, sitting in the South.
Okay, so and then tell the community a bit more of who you are. You've done so much, so please recount everything.
So I've done many things. Right now I'm a managing director, and I founded a program called ImmerseATL, which is a training environment to connect people from the pre-professional or where they're at in the training world right outside of college or high school to professional experiences, and giving them kind of that seed and that kernel to augment their next steps. So I currently do those things. Helen, you and I met when I was a ballet master at Atlanta Ballet for, in that role, roughly 8 years. And then, before that, a dancer. So it's kind of come full circle to be doing the twirling on stage in a tutu, to finding myself and my voice in a contemporary way, to meeting you, to now being on the administrative side.
Yes, but so Sarah, I will embellish a bit. So we worked together quite a bit in Atlanta Ballet, of course. We made quite a few pieces together, including the full-length Camino Real. Sarah also stages works for choreographers, including myself. And that is an ongoing practice. Another job in addition to the it's a hard word for me to say. Managing director, and her work with ImmerseATL. So she is working many aspects in this field. That is what I also find so interesting. So just had to embellish a bit there for you, Sarah. So can you give us one example? I have to still reference my notes. Can you give us one example of how, well, you have actually talked about it, but how you've reimagined your creative life? So you've talked about that because you've done it many times. But let's get a bit more detailed then. How has that shift motivated you in a different way? Or how has it redirected you? How has it shifted thought? Or focus?
That's a rich question. I think, I'm very fortunate it was almost a year ago that I transitioned from being a ballet master and jumped straight into being a managing director of a company in Atlanta called staibdance. That's a contemporary dance company that right now isn't full-time. Dancers are chosen for works. So the scale of what I was doing shifted. And then really it was almost like learning a new language inside the same house almost, because it was dance. I'm still going from one dance platform to another, but it was a shift for me of actually learning to listen in a different way and learning vocabulary. Like, I did not go to business school. I did not know the basics, like what is a chart of accounts? That could have been Pluto to me. So I learned these things I'm learning these things on the fly, and speaking with people that dearly love and support the arts world, but come at it from just a different perspective. And so reimagining and I guess shifting my perspective has been such a joy, really. It's been tough. Every day having to learn like a new skill set in a way is extremely challenging, but it's an honor. And to give voice and to kind of communicate between the artistic and the administrative and learn the language that connects both in a beautiful way has been very special.
You say it's challenging, which I want to ask a little bit more about, because those challenges, let's call them, let's call them challenges. I was also going to talk about how new habits are formed. So we all like to sit in our habits, but to be in a situation like you for this brand new position, which is vastly different than anything you did, is it kind of, could it be almost a smashing of habits on a daily level, because you keep having to renew your idea of what reality, which is your present? It's the only reality that has any power. Has it taught you about hanging on to habits or letting go of habits, or what is that like?
Oh, Helen, so wise. Yes. And in fact, I think the biggest smashing or shifting of habits is a lot to do with me personally. And a lot of it is just having a bit more grace with my own self and having a bit more patience with my own self. I mean, I wake up every day and many times feel very inadequate, or stupid isn't exactly the right word, but I just don't really know what I'm in charge of. And so it's just being gracious and knowing, okay, you're going to learn as you go. You're going to make mistakes, and you're going to have people behind you that are going to support you, and they're going to help you when you make those mistakes. And just the things that you thought were so important and needed to happen in that order.
Yeah.
Shifting your definition of how things should get done, and what finding value in a different way. Yes, habits all over the place, Helen. That's so great. It makes me want to sit down and write. Like, I really shifted.
I guess it could also be called, you're in a constant state of not controlling. That's a scary place, right? The chaos of that is something that we are in with this COVID-19, the chaos of not having control, and also where we are as a country right now. And I think this loss of what we think we need to have, or how we think we need to operate, is very telling, because we do not need these old systems. We cannot have these old systems, right? And you're speaking to that also in your work about, it's always a new system. It's a new system. And that, as far as growth for a human being, like you just said, okay, so can you share a favorite memory or memories from your creative life?
There's so many. I mean, just in a really sweet sister way, memories with you, Helen. I was thinking about, we have so many, I can't define them, but just doubling over in peals of laughter in a studio, in a hotel room, as we're like, whatever it is, over the silliest things. And that recognition that what we do brings us so much joy, like in the creation process. I'm really fortunate. One of the loves of my life is to encourage people to stand on their own 2 feet a little stronger. And in ImmerseATL, I have this platform where I get to really challenge and push, but strengthen in the process these young voices, young being college age, a little older, a little younger. And so when you see them making choices that you're like, this will get you far, that is like all the happy joy comes out of me.
Yeah. Yeah. See, people succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are all about that, Sarah. You are, and I do also have to say to the creative vitality community, everybody that works with Sarah when she stages my ballets, I can only speak to that. I'm sure everybody loves her, but when she stages my work and we work alongside, every dancer truly loves her. Sarah, you spread love. You really do. Do you have an insight you can share with us about living a creative life?
Yes, it's hard earned and hard won. And it, for me, is carving out time. And sometimes that time needs to be a full day. Sometimes that time just needs to be distance from the thing you're doing. And in that time, in just open-ended, not having to accomplish something, creativity flows because it's in all of us. But I think it just gets channeled a certain way when we're doing all these other things. And so when there is time, sometimes it's just sleep. Like, you know what? I'm going to go to bed at 10 o'clock tonight. And my body internally is going to do all the things it needs to do. And I'll wake up and that time was spent just restoring.
Yeah. And restorative time is amazing, but also you spoke to this and just saying it in another way, life is creative. And I think sometimes we can get stuck with the idea that I need to be creative when every step we take is new, is an act of creation. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I learned that from you, Helen. I learned something really special in my formative years of being a ballet master. I was young when I started it. And being in a creation process with you, that you took anything as inspiration and you just began. That's how it felt to me. It wasn't like I had to think really hard about this step. It was just, you did a lot of research. There was a lot of thought of why, but for many things to begin and just use the things and then let things come in, trust, the things that don't need to be there will be released. And so to use that in life, like to just begin, start this new chapter, try it out. You have taught me that. So thank you, Helen.
I learned a lot from you too. So is there a particular thing other than the entire orbit that you are in that can inspire you? Do you have a particular thing or you just spoke to it? So
am I allowed to talk about a good glass of wine?
Oh, please.
A good glass of wine can inspire me. Also a good book. I think books that are not in my orbit. I love a good autobiography or biography. But yeah, just a good book that really shifts my perspective is inspiring. Also nature.
Yeah.
Nature's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Sarah, this might be the hardest question for you. Do you have an exercise or movement tip?
I wish I did. Walking is good. I should probably I'm going to do a Pilates boot camp with one of my dear friends. So that's going to be good for the abs. The tip is try something, get moving.
Excellent. Excellent. As part of the CVJS platform, I believe in supporting and building community. Sarah, what would you like to see shift in terms of building an equitable community?
And this is, it's such a powerful and poignant question, and it's coming to a head in a certain area in life now, but it's something I think we've been questioning in the dance world a long time. Helen, you've been let me start here. You've been an example. I don't have the answers, but I have thoughts of both what I can do personally, and then in what my hand touches. But to start with, you've been a real example of lifting up a sister and a woman who stands in your field. I've been the result of that. So watching someone truly, you gave me a chance. I started staging works under you. I kind of became a ballet mistress because of our work together. So giving support in a very practical way to people that, as a woman, you did that for me. And so I'm looking for opportunities to do that through ImmerseATL, or just friends that I can help and support. I think to build a more equitable community, for me personally, and it's not just what I'm hearing, it's something I really believe, that stopping to listen, but as I'm listening, I recognize in myself that sometimes I'm listening, but I'm circling it without consciously knowing it through my own grid. And so to whether it's slow down or deliberately consider what's being said. Yes, to research it, but to consider while I'm listening. So, we as humans don't have all the answers. We as people we don't see ourselves rightly. And so to let someone else share their perspective and to really slow down and try and see it from their side, I think does have a ripple effect. And, inside of ImmerseATL, which is it's a training ground. I'm considering, when we start up again in the fall, we're a fall and spring situation, we're off during the summer. I'm just considering what I can do for these college age, again, young 20s, to give them an opportunity for dialogue, for consideration, for more communication about issues they may not have experienced their own way. And that's a part I know that I can play specifically in the dance community to make it more equitable or to contribute to that.
You're talking about conversation.
Yes.
You're talking about conversation, and that needs to happen. And I think that it's an excellent idea to put that on your platform of ImmerseATL, because, it is all about seeing the example, living the example. Then other people know that example needs to be lived. So yeah, bravo. That sounds great. That sounds wonderful. Yeah. Wow, Sarah, thank you. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. I'm so happy you're here with CVJS. So I'm going to ask you, Sarah, because I want to make sure this is right. What are the two websites for Staib and Immerse? Can you just say that for the community?
Yes, staibdance, all one word, .com, and then ImmerseATL with an I, like you immerse yourself in something, ImmerseATL.com.
Okay, both .com. Great. So if you want to find out about more about both of those endeavors from Sarah, please, those are the places to go to. And I can advocate for ImmerseATL as a great training ground which spans between it's a bridge between pre-professional and professional. It's a year long, right? Fall, winter. Yes. Yeah. So it's a great gap. It's this great thing to really, I'm going to say it, sorry, immerse yourself in, to get an idea of sort of get the cushion in the pre-professional, and also feel what it's like to be in the professional world. So I can advocate greatly for that in Atlanta. All right, Sarah, if you don't mind staying with me. CVJS is live twice weekly, Wednesday at 2 and Sunday brunch at 1. And our next guest on Sunday is Virginia Johnson, the artistic director of Dance Theater of Harlem. In the description box below, once this is put up on our Creative Vitality Jam Session YouTube channel, you'll find bio information about Sarah. You'll find out where we are on social media. And you'll find out other information of upcoming possibilities for CVJS. I want to thank the excellent Gracie Spina. She is the behind the scenes producer, works so hard every show. And it's, as we all know, when we make something, it's far more than just the show. So thank you, Gracie. Thank you to the resilient and beautiful dance community. I'm so proud to be a part of the community for so many years. Thank you to you guys for tuning in to Creative Vitality Jam sessions. Please walk the walk. Live the reality that all lives matter. Reimagine creativity. Thank you so much, Sarah. And we'll see you next time. Bye.